The Baltimore Orioles yet again swing and miss when it comes to free agency. And yet again, we as Orioles fans are wondering what is next for the Baltimore Orioles and where do they go in free agency. It's the Flex Zone Podcast, the only place giving you your Baltimore Orioles coverage and sports coverage how you want it when you need it. God's favorite host back again. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here ending 2024 and heading into 2025. First and foremost, how do I look? How do I sound? Got some new equipment over the weekend. I want to hear from you. Comment down below. How do I look? How do I sound? You let me know. We're back in business on the podcast. The more you put into what we do, we give it back tenfold. And want to be the best product out there. Look the best and sound the best. But subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button and hit that bell sound off down below. Let me know your thoughts on the Orioles and MLB free agency as we are heading into 2025 and we're less than 50 days from pitchers and catchers reporting. Sheesh, needs to slow down already. But let us be the first to wish you guys a happy new year. And if you're new to the channel, as always, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Let me know how you're feeling about the Baltimore Orioles as we head into potentially spring training in a couple weeks, honestly, because you're heading into January. Spring training is in February. So you're about a month and a half out from spring training. But we heard the news over the weekend. I prepped you guys going into the offseason. I said Santander would be gone. I said Corbin Burns will be gone. I didn't think it would take both of them this long to sign. Corbin Burns signs over the weekend with the Diamondbacks, gets a $210 million contract. Sources were saying that the Orioles were involved on it. And we also heard that it is a 2-year opt-out opportunity. Corbin Burns from Arizona has his 3 children, wants to raise them in Arizona. I'm cool with it. He doesn't go to the American League East, to Toronto, Boston, or New York. Doesn't go to the powerhouse Giants, or, well, his home, I guess his team that he was linked to the most, the Giants, or nor does he go to the Dodgers. So he goes to Arizona. He ain't winning no championships in Arizona. Arizona's not beating the Padres. They're not beating the Dodgers. They're the third best team in that division. And honestly, who else is in that division? The Rockies, Diamondbacks, Padres, Dodgers. Yeah, they're the third best team in that division. They're the third best team in that division, even with Corbin Burns. They got Corbin Carroll, great young player, outfielder. But it is what it is. He's going home. He's getting his money. And maybe in 2 years, he opts out. We'll see. But looking at the Orioles, where do we go from here? Free agency-wise, honestly, the only pitcher left is Roki Sasaki, the Japanese star, the 23-year-old, the well-known Japanese pitcher since his high school days. And he's a right-hander, a lot of physical talent, and he's one of the most touted Japanese prospects in history. He has touched triple digits as even a teenager before turning pro and developed 2 sensational secondary pitches. So he has a splitter and a sharp slider to complement his ferocious fastball. As I mentioned, it does reach triple digits. Although he has not mastered nearly as much workload, so he doesn't have a lot of innings. His arm is pretty fresh. He has thrown 394 2/3 innings across 4 seasons in Japan's league, and he's been unparalleled by his display on several occasions. He had a 19 strikeout performance in 2022, and he pitched for the Samurai Japan team that won the 2023 World Baseball Classic. Obviously, he is interested in being in a smaller market. Baltimore would fit that. We're only 18th in payroll. Could we see the Orioles make a play at Sasaki? He's not yet 25. He turned 23 in early November. So he won't necessarily get the deal that we saw last year with Yamamoto, but he can sign for a capped amount ranging between $5 million and $7 million. If the Orioles can't get him, I don't know what else they're going to do here. It's low risk, high reward, low cost. You can probably get him for 4 or 5 years at what, $7 million? So you can get him for what, 3 years, 4 years, 25 to $30 million. 25-year-old with a great fastball, has a good splitter and a good slider, has secondary pitches, maybe could get even better, healthy, no Tommy John issues, a fresh arm. Go get Sasaki, Mike Elias, because obviously we're looking at possibly the trade market. I don't know who's out there to be traded. We saw Jesus Luzardo get traded. We saw other players, Sean Manaea, signed back with the Mets. We've seen Greg Crochet for 4 prospects go to the Red Sox. I think the Red Sox are going to inevitably probably either sign Santander or the Toronto Blue Jays will. There are rumblings that Santander could come back. Where does he play in this team with Tyler O'Neill? They did sign Gary Sanchez. Could we see, I don't know, Santander as the DH every day? And then you put Tyler O'Neill in right field with Cowser and Mullins, Mullins in center, Cowser in left. You maybe try to package Kerstad and Mayo for additional pitching if you sign Sasaki, because you're going to need pitchers, multiple, at least another starter or two, and another arm in the bullpen. I think three total, two starters and at least one reliever. We don't know about Kyle Bradish's health, Tyler Wells' health. Pretty much you're going into the season with Dean Kramer, Grayson Rodriguez. Who else? Who else are you really going into? You don't really have all of your weapons. You're going what? I can actually read the rotation right now because I had it pulled up. Zach Eflin in a contract year, so this could be his last year. Grayson Rodriguez, Dean Kramer. We were signed Tomoyoki Sagano, so we already have a Japanese player. So maybe that could help in getting Sasaki. Albert Suarez, who was great last year. I think he's more of a reliever this year, hopefully in his natural role. I think another big year from him would do this team wonders, especially with the Mountain coming back, still having Cano and Perez. I don't know why we didn't bring back Coulomb. Could we double back and maybe spin the block and get him for cheaper? I don't know. But I am looking forward to seeing, we got Zach Eflin, Gray Rod, Dean Kramer, Sagano, Trevor Rogers, Suarez. Maybe Rogers and Suarez both slide into the bullpen and the Orioles go out, sign, and make a trade. I think they should do both. You sign a guy like Sasaki. He's a low risk, high reward, doesn't want much. Is not necessarily looking for the bright lights and the big deals. The Dodgers, I guess they could use him, but do they really have space for him? The Yankees, do they really have space for him? The Orioles have to be one of the leaders in the clubhouse for this team, for this guy. You got to get Sasaki and maybe even go out and try to make a trade. Maybe make a trade for a number two starter with, like I said, maybe bringing back, like I said, I can see Santander being with the Red Sox or the potential of being with the Blue Jays because somebody's going to pay him. The Blue Jays are just giving money away and no one's taking it. And the Red Sox, I think, are competitive this year. Crochet, they had some injuries last year in their rotation. They were better than people thought. Got some good young rookies. They are ascending and they're doing it the right way, not just spending a bunch of money on one player. The Yankees seem like they're going to be the class of the division right now. And the Rays are the Rays, but the Orioles maybe are still the second best team, but there's work to be done. Offensively, okay. We got probably everyone we're going to have offensively. You got O'Neill, you got Gary Sanchez, you got your right-handed bat. I don't see us bringing back Santander, like I said. I think you put that money in Sasaki and you maybe go out and maybe try to trade for another guy because I don't know who is out there on the free agent market. I don't know who is out there to be had. I don't. I mean, you guys can let me know down in the comment section. You can give your opinion. You can let me know who you think they should go after. But really speaking, I don't know who.
Who? Go Google it.
And most of the pictures are gone after I Googled it. So you lose Corbin Burns. You got Sasaki. He probably doesn't sign until January. I think last year Yamamoto was around the same time. So he doesn't probably sign until January. Maybe you can then make a trade before spring training like you did in February before you got Corbin Burns. You have prospects to use, and then maybe you have something. But the Orioles are going to need starting pitching, and I think next has to be all in on Sasaki. You have to give this fan base some type of help. You have to give them some type of hope. You have to give them some type of bone to let them know that you're going to spend money. Rubenstein just came in. We heard the promises. We heard the aggressiveness that they want to portray and how they want to spend money and be competitive, and they were in on the Corbin Burns situation. You got to go out and you got to spend money. We got to get at least one pitching signing. Sasaki would be that. A young pitcher, not going to cost you a lot of money, can slot right in for multiple years. You have Eflin going into a contract year. You may lose him. You got some young guys. Go get him. He could be a front of the rotation guy with Grayson Rodriguez and could help with multiple guys try to replace what you lost in Corbin Burns because there's no Corbin Burns on the market. Sasaki's not Corbin Burns, and it's going to probably be an adjustment period for him coming to the American League East, one of the toughest divisions in baseball. But I think he's a guy who's at least a number 2 quality starter for this rotation. You put him in there with Rodriguez and Eflin. You maybe go make another move. You got to do something because if you don't sign anybody, and all you got is Tyler O'Neill and Gary Sanchez, you swing and miss on all the pitchers. You don't make a trade. You got to spend some type of dollar. You got to spend some type of coin because what are you doing with it? If you were in on Corbin Burns, they're going to spend $200+ million potentially. Why not allocate that money to other needs on the team? Another starter, another reliever. There are still guys out there, right? Tanner Scott, I believe, is still a free agent. I believe You got some other pieces that you could go get. I don't know how they're going to spend money. Let me double check that before I say he is a free agent, but yeah, he's a free agent. Tanner Scott is still a free agent, so I don't know. Maybe they could spend big money bringing back Tanner Scott. Put him in there with the Mountain, Perez. You lose Jacob Webb to the Rangers. That would be a nice foursome in the back end of the bullpen. But what say you? Sound off in the comment section. Swing for the fences. Subscribe if you're new. Strike out that like button. Make sure you leave us a thumbs up. It helps us out in the YouTube algorithm. Let me know your thoughts on the Orioles free agency. Breaking news. There is none. But we're here 2024, 2025. I'll keep you updated with all the Orioles content and more right here on the Flex Zone Podcast. God's favorite host. Let me know how I look, how I sound. We'll see you in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.